welcome to GouldFish Plays CSI Dark Motives. And it seems we are on to the fourth case. That's right, we're on to case number 4. So let's load this game up and check out Misdirection. Now, hopefully this should load a little bit faster because I've switched over to a better machine. That's right, we're back up to the AMD 64. So hopefully it should load faster, should play a bit smoother, even though this game really shouldn't be pushing a Pentium 3 1GHz anywhere near as much as it seemed to. And based on the image in the background, I am gonna guess we are going to be playing with Nick Stokes. Well, that sounded wrong. We're going to be partnering with Nick Stokes. I wonder if this game is set pre or post him being buried in the desert and half eaten by, was it red ants? I think it was red ants. So Gil, what have you got for us? Oh, that would have been so great if it just suddenly loaded then.
You've heard the old saying, the show must go on? Not when they kill the lead actress. Head out to the Colossus Casino. It's the one that stages Broadway-style musicals. Stay alert. A young woman's life has been taken away from her. We can't give it back, but we can find the truth.
Wow, and could you sound any more bored with your delivery than that? All you have
I'm
to
Nick
do...
Stokes. Hope you're as I've heard, because we can stand to wrap this up fast. An event like this is the wrong kind of showstopper for all concerned. Let's go see where reality messed up the fantasy.
What the frick is going on with that model? They literally just took a box and slapped a texture on it, and that eyebrow is higher than that. So, did they model Nick Stokes, or did they just sort of grab a random monkey model and use it and stick some clothes? That's freaking awful. Oh, guys. Let's just go to the Colosseum and see where this takes us. Oh. Establishing shot. Establishing shot. Okay, I think we're in a theatre. And there is Squarey McSquarehead and Boobs McBoobs. And that's a little bit smoother spinning around. Oh, we've got a second person down here. Well, he'll be fun to talk to. I guess we talk to her first.
I'm Nick Stokes with the Crime Lab, and this is my assistant. Are you with the production?
Yes, I'm an actress here, Heather Colby. I don't even know to think, let alone to say. An awful thing. Terrible. Horrible.
Miss Colby, we know this is difficult for you and everyone here, but we're sure you'd like to help. And you can do that by answering a few questions.
Always asking the questions. So, obviously, what happened here?
This was our tech rehearsal. Standard for any production, but particularly important for one like ours. You know, with so many special effects, like the shooting scene.
Hang in there, Miss Colby. Now, could you walk us through it?
I really don't have all that much to tell you. First, we had the argument, and then, of course, I shot Meryl and began covering my tracks.
Whoa, Miss Colby, was that just a confession? If you have something important to share, you'll need to know your rights.
My rights? Oh, I can see how that sounded. I'm sorry. By covering my tracks, I mean, what I meant, that's the song title. Song I sing in the show right after that effects scene. And that's just what I did. That's how it's scripted. Meryl at her mark, I walk on stage, shoot her, and begin to sing. But this time at the end of the scene, Meryl she never got up. That had nothing to do with me. I was shooting a blank. That horrible squib must have exploded. She complained about them before, said she'd been burned, but this? I never heard of a squib killing anybody before.
Squids, on the other hand, they will happily kill you. So how well did you know Meryl?
We were old friends. Kind of veterans of the wars, you know? All the way back to drama school in New York.
Those terrible,
And
terrible
even then,
wars.
it was obvious she was going to make it. She had that combination of charisma and ambition that marks a real star. We worked together often, not a team so much as actors whose on-stage chemistry gelled so well that when the right roles came along, we got cast. Oh, I know, big talk, right? If we were such hot stuff, why were we still paying our dues in dinner theaters and regional productions? You got a right to say that about me, but not Meryl. She was nominated for a supporting Tony on Broadway just last season. And she's a star here in Vegas. She was a hometown girl, you know? And this production, she was great. Finally, the perfect part. And the buzz? People from both coasts were coming in for the premiere. I just know. I know. This would have done it for her. But then I guess this production was it for her, wasn't it?
Well, thank you, Madam. Exposition. Well, I think we almost forgot the word there. That was a lot to take in one go. So, was there anyone else in the theatre during the rehearsal?
No, just the two of us.
Just the
and
two of
Gus,
us.
the stage manager.
So there was three
He's
of
also
you.
the technical director, and he insists pyrotechnic effects be rehearsed with the theater cleared of only himself and the actors. Safety's a big issue, and I guess you can see why.
So where can I find Gus the technical? I think that's the guy.
Oh, he's around. His job sort of takes him here, there, and everywhere. I think the last time I saw him, he was heading for the prop room. Follow the signs backstage.
Oh no. So who's the other bloke down there? Oh, there we go. Prop room. So let's take a look at the body, shall we? We can obviously look at that. Oh, look at the head.
The makeup appears to have been applied a little thicker here. What do you think?
Yeah.
That's not right for this. Try something else. Not the right tool for this.
I don't even know what we're trying to do.
Try something else. That's not right for this.
What is right for this?
Not the right tool for this. That's not right for this.
I'm looking for detection instead, maybe. Ooh. Oh, look at that.
Whoa, some deep bruising peeking through that makeup. She had something to hide.
I guess the doc will inform us.
Well, the special effect was a gunshot wound in the chest. Happens to be next to a real wound of some kind, close to the heart. You know what a squib is, right? Explosive that simulates an impacting bullet? Gun-related effects are dangerous, and squibs are high on the list. Incorrectly prepped, they can wound an actor. Often, metal plates or other protective gear under the actor's clothes protect them from the blast. This stuff is usually used in film, and I gotta say, I don't care much for the idea of them in live theater.
Was just such a theatre buff.
Not the right tool for this.
Because that's been brought up in many times over the course of the series, how you love your theatre, and you're not meant to be just like a cowboy dude. So,
Never consider a gunshot wound routine. They're all different. Never miss a chance to swab one.
I will keep that in mind, because I'm sure that will become useful in my later life. Okay, well, I think we've seen... That's just the same, yes. Anything else? Just that. No, nothing else. Sorry for the noise. I just need to move stuff out of the way because the monitor was going a funny colour because the speaker was too close. Ooh.
Some might call this a woman's gun. Small caliber revolver. Perfect to pack in a purse. Good fit for a smaller hand. Spent casing in the chamber. Is it possible that an actual bullet was fired out of this gun? Got some residual powder in the barrel here.
Come on, go close. There we go. Right, so...
Close, but not quite right. Something similar. When blanks are ready for a theatrical application, the bullet is removed from the cartridge, and a flash-producing additive is put in its place, like magnesium powder. Then the end is crimped.
take that gun. Actually, can we... tools, detection. I don't know if we need to do any fingerprint tests. And smooth polished surfaces. Never sure where you're going to find a fingerprint in this game. Nope, nothing else there. And so, who are you, matey?
Sir? Excuse me.
What? Oh, you're the police, aren't you? I'm a little out of it right now.
Big shock to everyone involved. Nick Stokes, Crime Lab. And you are?
Clayton Regis, Meryl's husband. I'm afraid I'm confused. If this is an accident, why are you people here? I'm trying to deal with the loss, okay? And one thing that would help me is to know what happened here. Is it negligence or something else?
The fact that you can ask such a question shows why we're here, sir. And we're going to have answers for you and for your late wife.
Such business. So, how long have you been married?
6 years. 6 wonderful, happy years. The nomadic life Meryl led meant she wasn't always home. In fact, she was gone maybe half of the time. But the important thing was she was always there for me when I needed her. And now, I wasn't here when she needed me, was I?
Who could have anticipated this? Forgive me, but I have to ask. Any problems in the marriage lately? Arguments, fights, disagreements?
No, not at all. Hey, I won't kid you. It wasn't easy having an actress wife. On the road all the time. I'm in showbiz too, you know? I do various acrobatics, but it's all here in town for casino shows. Sometimes we'd argue about whether a job was worth it, worth her leaving our happy little home. Sometimes I thought she took parts that didn't pay enough or were just too small for a big talent like her. That kind of thing. Nothing unusual for a couple in our situation, and we always worked it through.
That part is beneath you, darling. So where were you when the shooting took place?
Let me think. I guess I must have been at the Net and Brew. I took my laptop down there. One of those internet coffee shops, you know? It's just down the street. Anyway, I was coming back to the theater to pick her up, like always, when I saw the ambulance and the police cars.
Man, internet coffee shops. Wow, that dates it. Remember those? Going along, paying like 10 quid to get internet access per hour, and now coffee shops will just have Wi-Fi that's free. Oh, how times have changed. So, who has your wife... who has your wife had contact with lately? There we go, we can say it
when
now.
She's working on a show, she really burrows in and disappears into the work. I guess you'd have to say the only person besides me she's been in much contact with have been the other actors, like Heather and the director and such.
Have you ever met Gus, the technical director?
I'd know him when I see him. If I've ever exchanged more than half a dozen words with the man, I'd be surprised. I do know Meryl met with him often, as you'd expect. He wired her up for the stunt today, of course. I have to say, I never did feel right about those damn squibs. What would have been wrong with a sound effect or something? It's not the movies. She said Gus was all gung-ho about it.
All gung-ho about it. Ho, 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 ho. And I guess that's all from you. Or is there a mark here?
It's a mark, called a mark. Shows actors where to stand. It's used more in film than theater for camera purposes, but with special effects like these, those involved need to hit specific marks for safety, thanks to which we'll know exactly where the actors were supposed to be during this scene.
Yes, that gonna be everything for here? Anything else? Anything at all? Anyone in back there? Nope. Alright, let's go find this other dude, shall we? And not here. Ooh,
Rifle
look.
rack. One of the guns is missing, though.
here. There's a shoe. I'm not sure what the hell I meant to do with a shoe. Is there anything?
Nothing special there. Nothing here. Try something else.
Maybe there's something here, I just don't know what I'm looking for.
Nothing.
There is...
Shots of Meryl. Maybe during recent performances. These aren't publicity pics, though. Looks like candids.
Not sure what to do with those things yet. I'm sure they'll come back to us. Ooh.
Blank rounds, crimped at the end where the bullet would normally go. Explode just like a real shot, though. Quite a few different calibers here. They probably go through these pretty fast.
Yes, they probably do. Can we collect some? Tools collection. Guess that was going to be the one scene. It looked slightly different from the rest.
If these are real, we have our work cut out for us. Lots of different calibers. We'll need to learn more before any of these become meaningful to us.
In other words, we can't take one until Doc Robbins tells us.
Hammer, screwdrivers, etc. Nicely organized. Even a little anal retentive about it. Tools traced in pencil so he knows where to put them. Which tells us one tool is missing. Small. Rectangular.
Unless he's screwing with us. Anything else in here? So we saw that. Oh no, that's him. No, don't want to look at that. Hell no, don't want to look at that.
Bit of water here.
I wonder if someone loosened that pipe. Actually, can we actually take that? Yes.
Sprinter mock cross trainers. Size 10.
Ah, so we just meant to take them. Guess we can then look at them later. Probably should find out what the caliber of the bullet is, so I guess Doc Robbins.
Something you want?
Yes, oh mighty overlord who just stares down at us. Yes, there is. Can you recover the
No
body
problem.
for us?
We'll bring the body right in.
So, what was the cause of death?
A single bullet entered the victim's chest, breaking apart as it struck the sternum. Fragments going just deep enough to pierce the aorta.
And can you determine the time of death?
Using a basic body temperature or algor mortis analysis, I've got the time of death pegged at around time of the rehearsal. No great revelations for you, I'm afraid. Straightforward stuff.
Were you able to recover anything from the wounds?
Actually, yes. Several metal fragments, presumably from a bullet. They're all yours. I don't need them anymore, and neither does the Vic. Not that she ever did.
Ho 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 ho. And can we take a look at the body? Oh no, wait. That suddenly appeared. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
Whew. Been a wild night, so I'm not as far with Ms. Regis as I'd like to be. Frankly, I haven't even cleaned and prepped her. Anything else turns up, you'll be the first. Meantime, feel free to check the body over. I've got plenty to do.
Which means we'll have to come back later for him to talk about the injury on her face.
Be my guest.
Which we can't look at now. I think we've already done that.
So, I think to the lab.
Yes?
Yes. Take some evidence, evidence boy.
I amplified and graphed that DNA of yours, scanned it into the computer.
No, I guess if he's still in the lab, it's probably before.
Unsurprising discovery number 1. Substance you found is gunpowder mixed with magnesium powder. Unsurprising discovery number 2. Traces of plugging material. Gun you found was likely loaded with a blank and was fired recently.
Oh, good to know, I guess. They say if he's in the lab, it's probably before he went out into the field and then killed a kid. And take this last
Water.
bit.
Best I can do you is profile it chemically and let the computer help you find the source.
Take a look at this.
Hey, Meryl Regis. Ever see her perform? She would have made it, I tell you. Can I keep these?
I don't want them pasted in your scrapbook, Craig. I was thinking more
what
like
the
scan them
hell
into
is-
the image enhancement equipment, please.
What is going on with that face? It's boring into my soul. I didn't plan to do a horror game today, but that's horror. That is pure, unadulterated horror. Right. Let's forget
This is a
about him.
squib with a sound detector. Firing the prop gun causes the sound sensor to detonate the squib. But this one also seems to have a wireless receiver. For what purpose, I can't tell you. Would seem redundant. Hey, this is an amateur night. Sophisticated setup. The blast plate was damaged, but that's not unusual. Explosive powder residue levels were consistent with a proper load. Arvik must have felt a real kick when this baby went off, and no signs of tampering either.
That was a mouthful. Take a gun.
Just because it's a prop gun doesn't mean a little item like this can't fire real bullets. Can't confirm whether a bullet has been fired recently from this prop or not, but I can tell you it's a .22 caliber.
And this blank round.
This is what's known as an unfired blank round, .22 caliber.
And this shoe.
Shoe print scanned in the computer.
And we've got bullet fragments.
Small caliber bullet broken apart. If you don't tell Grissom, I'll make an educated guess. 22.
Wonder if that's going to screw us later.
Meryl had a shiner when we found her. Let's take a closer look and see if she had it before she died,
Yeah.
when this photo was taken.
I want to see it already.
Hey, she did have that black eye before she was murdered. Finally getting somewhere. This candid is a real-life argument, not something from the show. Gus could have been stalking Meryl.
And shoe prints. Don't know why. Come, yeah. I got the shoe. I don't even know why I'm doing this. Just to be. What's the word I'm looking for? For completionist's sake, I guess. Yeah. Pretty much what we knew already. DNA, that should be hers, but this is what you do in these games. Try everything with everything. Let's confirm. Nope, nope, nope. 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 And there. Go, and nope.
Not sure if we've got a match in this group.
And special links. Water sample. Great progress bar. Lovely progress bar. There we go.
So, the water from the prop room came from the pipes in the city's commercial water supply system. Since the 1950s, Vegas has had a dual water system. Regular water supply is drinkable, servicing the general population, but secondary treated wastewater, not drinkable, is reclaimed for commercial uses, often with a higher concentration of these elements. No surprise if the theater sprinkler system is hooked into this funkier water supply.
I did not know that. I don't know whether or not it's true or not, but I did not know that before. So, hey, we learnt something. Ish. Maybe. Fireworks. I guess back to the theatre. And so the body is gone. Let's see if she knows anything about the black eye, I guess. So where were you standing?
On my mark. It's still on the stage. Even during the run, we keep them there. Again, because of the safety issues. And of course, Meryl was at her mark, standing in front of me, right where she wound up.
Did you have a grudge against the victim?
Hardly. We were colleagues and old friends.
Did you shoot Meryl with a prop gun?
I already told you so. It's part of the scene. You know how hard this is for me? Please.
Really, killing her wasn't part of any scene. That's what we're asking, Heather.
She was my friend. Of course I didn't kill her.
I can understand you're upset, but understand what we're thinking. You were holding the gun, and the bullet fragments from Meryl's body matched the gun's caliber. Could that weapon have been loaded with something other than a blank?
I had nothing to do with loading it. I suppose it's possible. But no, even if someone else traded a live round for my blank, part of our stage training is to aim a weapon with a blank away from the other actor. It's an illusion. From the audience, you can't tell.
That sounds reasonable, Miss Colby. But you should know we can track the angle that a bullet enters a body, so it wouldn't do any good to...
Check it all you like. Upside down and sideways. Just leave me alone. Why are you harassing the victim's best friend? Are you that desperate for a suspect? I had to watch someone I loved die. Isn't that enough?
No, we're
That's
the
all we need
police.
right now.
In fact, we're CSI. We do everything. We don't care about your feelings. We'll indict anyone if we think you're the victim. Victim? Suspect.
I don't have anything else to say to you people.
Or something. They, like the CSI team, have screwed over so many people's lives in their pursuit of the truth. If you watch the show, it is quite crazy. Back to the prop room. And that guy's not there, but I think we can get...
Let's see. 9mm, 308, 338. Here we go. 22 caliber. Let's grab this one.
Let me guess. That one. Oh, how did I guess? So, let's talk to Greg and see if this bullet... no, items.
Dummy round. Just like a regular round, but a prop without gunpowder. Used for all kinds of stage work, except for actually shooting.
So, we've got prop bullets matching the caliber of bullet the doc recovered from the body. However, dummy bullets lack an explosive charge, but if a bullet was already in the chamber, the force of the blank round would have fired it out.
Bit of a stretch. Not really. Let's...
Need something?
Hey, can we confirm Clayton was the Javelin Net and Brew recently?
Ought to be possible. Let's check the IP traffic through the cafe's node and look up logins. C. Regis logged in. Spent about 15 minutes online, then logged off. That leaves a little unaccounted for time. Not much, though.
Maybe the morgue can help. Maybe Doc Robbins.
Something you want? Be my guest.
Anything new you can do?
We need to determine, from the wound and internal tissue damage, the trajectory of the fatal bullet.
How are we gonna do that? Stop detecting. There we go.
Nothing. That's not right for this.
Do we need to take a plaster cast? I don't know.
Try using a similar tool. Try something else. Not the right tool for this. That's not right for this. Try something else. Not the right tool for this.
Oh, okay.
Using microsil to cast a wound, huh? I remember another newbie doing that. Unconventional, but whatever works. We should be able to get a trajectory from the mold and show that the shot either came from Heather's gun or didn't.
Really? Is that gonna work?
What's up?
I get a feeling that's gonna be a bit weird, but hey.
Looks like Heather Colby isn't the only one shooting blanks. You need a new suspect, guys. The cast shows the entry wound pointing downward from the body at a 30-degree angle, and a direct shot from the front.
Hey, ruling people out is a start, and this sure lends credibility to Heather's story. Let's set up a trajectory dummy at the theater. That way, we'll really know where the shot came from.
Yeah, let's do that.
This dummy will help us trace the bullet's trajectory. We know it was pointing down at about a 30-degree angle. Since actors are trained to face slightly toward the audience, the angle on the pointers would seem about right. Let's switch on Mr. Laser and see if he's pointing anywhere near Heather's mark.
Mr. Laser, hey?
Let's see where it points to.
Oh. Over here
Now
somewhere.
that's interesting. It points right down to the orchestra pit.
And what is this?
Some kind of electronic transmitter.
Is there any fingerprints? No, sweet pulse. Oh, there we go. Oh, he's got to get those fingerprints and collect it as well. I don't know what it is, but I bet you that what goes into that bit in the prop room. No, well, that's not what I clicked on. Evidence items. Maybe I can't do what I was hoping to do there. Never mind. Back to the lab, I guess.
Yes?
And so, take a look at this.
That print has been scanned into the computer for you.
And take a look at this.
Remote backup detonator. Can be used to trigger the squib should the gun fail. A logical backup in a theatrical situation.
Thought you said earlier it made no sense. Oh, Greg. So, let's look at our fingerprints. And do we have a match? That looks pretty close.
The stage manager
Hey.
and pyrotechnician is Gus Harrison. During performances, he handled the backup detonator in the orchestra pit. Plus, he's got a criminal history. Of course, none of this proves he was in the pit at the time of the killing.
Stalking and voyeurism. Peeping Tom. Let's go. Maybe they know something. Ask them.
I don't have anything else to say to you people.
Even though we know there's a little time difference in your story. Was there anyone in the orchestra pit?
Well, the theater was supposed to be cleared, but it was pretty dark down there. I'm not sure where Gus was. He sure wasn't in view when I fired the gun. He started the scene, headed to the wings.
Well, let's see.
Yeah? What do you need, guys?
We need to talk to this dude. Gus Harrison.
So he cleared the theater, had access to the orchestra pit, which is where we now think the shot came from. Plus he's got a criminal record and is the guy in charge of the pyrotechnics. Oh yeah, let's definitely get to know Gus better.
Mr. Harrison, we're with the crime lab. Can we have a word with you?
Sure, of course. Wondered when you CSIs would get around to me. Call me Gus, though. That's what my friends call me. Want to help any way I can. Doesn't do much for my rep, a fatality on my watch.
We'll keep it Mr. Harrison for now. We try to keep it professional.
And I don't think I want to be your friend. And just look at the death stare from both of them. Just have lasers. Pew, pew. Imagine being stared down by that thing. You'd admit to absolutely anything. So, what do you do around the theater?
Well, directors come and go, actors too. I'm sort of the continuity. The glue, you might say. But in an operation like this, a stage manager has to wear a lot of hats. So I'm also the technical director in charge of props and pyrotechnics. I'm a believer in doing live effects, kind of things people are used to seeing in the movies, squibs and all. Can't have a sound effect over the sound system. That wouldn't even convince Grandma these days.
Pow. How well did you know Meryl Regis?
Great gal. What can I say? She was the closest thing to a local star we have in Vegas, as far as legit theater is concerned. Hollywood and Broadway had been sniffing around. I worked with her before, but I wouldn't say we're friends. Co-workers. Friend Lee. Sure going to miss her.
Friend Lee. Why were your prints on the electronic transmitter?
Well, whose else would there be? I told you, I'm the prop guy. Pyro man. That's a remote detonator. I push the button as a backup. If the gun blasts don't detonate the squib, last thing you want in the middle of a show is to have one of your big scenes go flat because an effect fizzles.
Then why not just have you there all the time just to trigger it? Why do you need the sound? But, where were you when the prop gun was fired?
I was in the pit with my backup device, watching the stunt go down.
Uh-huh. Why do you have prop bullets in your area?
Always keep them handy. We just had a photo shoot the day before that rehearsal. Matter of fact, I put some of them dummy bullets in Heather's prop pistol. If the revolver cylinder was empty, it'd show in the stills.
Could one of the dummy bullets have been left in that gun?
Well, I suppose. I mean, I try to be careful, but I'm only one man, and you don't mean... My God, that's horrible. I could have been responsible for this? I mean, accidentally responsible. No, hell no. Even if I did screw up, and I didn't, Heather followed my stage directions and fired away from Meryl, angled to one side. If a real round did accidentally get fired out of that thing, it wouldn't have struck Meryl anyway.
You seem sure of that.
Damn sure, for 3 reasons. First, I saw the stunt go down. I saw Heather fire at an angle. Second, I count the bullets I use, always. And with that photo shoot, I clearly remember doing that, both before and after. And finally, I always disassemble, clean, and oil the prop weapons after they've been used.
You seem very, very diligent in your job, even though you seem to can't remember anything. At least until pressed. So, why do you have photos of the victim?
Those? Those are continuity photos. You know, making sure that things are in exactly the same spot next time you see them.
I've heard of that in film work, but never in a live theater performance.
Oh, it's common enough. When we hustle the props around, we've got to track them, scene to scene. Photos make a handy crib sheet.
But your continuity photos seem to track Meryl Regis specifically, scene to scene. Almost all of these continuity photos are of her.
Hey, can I help? She was the star of the show.
Where's the rifle that's missing from your prop room?
A rifle missing? Hey, that's news to me.
Really? But you're so careful, Mr. Harrison. And yes, it's gone from the rack. Do you recall that specific weapon?
If it's the one I'm thinking of, bolt action rifle, 30 caliber. Telescopic sight on that puppy. We did a show about a sniper killer a while back.
Must have been another musical. You're an expert, Mr. Harrison. How tough would it be to make a homemade noise suppressor for a weapon like that?
Well, probably not tough at all. A lot of do-it-yourself stuff floating around the internet. But you'd still have to know what you were doing. It ain't just any chump can build one.
Sounds like work for an expert. Right, Mr. Harrison?
Yeah, just not any old chump can do it. And, well, we had some questions. Okay, that just seemed to have just stopped. I expected there to be more, so I wonder if we missed something. Or did we not put something into evidence? No, all in evidence. That went into evidence. was in evidence.
Hey,
Any extra links or anything that we've missed? Hey, let's do a round of
I've done everything I can think of with that.
Can we do the gun? Tools detection. Oh, zoom in on that. Let's is it this? Oh. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Nothing new, but I don't know what I'm doing. Oh. It does feel like there's something else I can do with this gun, but I don't remember zooming in on it before. What have we forgotten? Where do we need to go back to? Who have we missed? What have we missed? So many questions. I don't know if I have any answers. Do we have more evidence? Keep getting lost in the tools.
Tiny bite type marks. Clamping tool, possibly.
Yeah.
What's up?
Let's talk to this guy again.
Yeah, let's see if your suspect has anything else to tell us.
That sounds like... Ah, there we go. Have you recently pried a bullet out of the prop cartridge? Out of a...
Why the hell would anybody do that?
Why don't we ask the questions, Mr. Harrison? You see, we found tool marks on the bullet fragments that killed Merrill. The same kind of bullets as the dummies in your prop room. It'd be easy to pull the bullet out of a dummy and load it into a gun with a blank behind it. Then you wait in the orchestra pit for the exact moment when Heather shoots. And from the darkness, shoot Merrill yourself. An instant accident.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't just go out and buy a damn bullet. I'd make a homemade one.
You see, there's a paper trail when you buy cartridges, Gus. You had a handy supply in the prop room. A little work, a little knowledge. That was all it took.
Hey, I can see how you put these pieces together, but it ain't the right picture. I didn't do any of this crap. Maybe somebody else did. But it's a big theater, and a lot of people have access.
But you keep the prop room locked, don't you? Safety-conscious guy like you?
Hey, sometimes it stands open when I'm hauling things around. And stuff could get taken from the stage, too. My inventory, as you already seen, can be a little lax sometimes.
Right. Like the missing rifle from the rack?
Right.
Gus, we already know from trajectory analysis that the shot came from the orchestra pit.
I'm only in that pit during stunts when performances are underway. And I don't know what happened to that damn rifle. Is this what I get for cooperating? Do I need a lawyer or something?
That's your call, Mr. Harrison. But cooperating with us is a good idea. Maybe you can tell us if you have the tool that's missing from your wall rack.
I can. It's right here. Multi-purpose puppy in my pocket. Take it.
Don't
Knock yourself
think I
out.
want to see
If
your
I had
multi-purpose
anything to
puppy
do
in
with
your
this,
pocket.
I wouldn't be cooperating, right? Right?
What other proof do you have that you didn't kill Meryl?
Hey, she was alive last time I saw her.
You mean from the pit, during the stunt?
No. I mean, after her death scene, I checked on her. I was down in the pit, yes, where I was supposed to be, and she was laying on the stage, just where she was supposed to be. Meryl whispered, kind of irritated like, that she got a bit of a backblast from the squib. I told her I'd fix that for her, before the performance.
Fortunately for you, Mr. Harrison, the squib we analyzed tends to corroborate your story. Meryl's protective plate was damaged, and you couldn't have known about the backblast unless you had really spoken with Meryl after the squib detonated. But we have to follow every thread.
Look, I know you do. I said I'd cooperate, and what have I been doing? So if you don't mind an outside expert asking, if Meryl was flat on the stage when she was shot, what does that do to your trajectory notions?
It calls for another look, back at the theater.
Back to the theater. Who do you think killed Meryl?
I don't want to play pin the tail on some other poor sucker, but I gotta admit, showbiz, the theater, it's a dog-eat-dog deal. Lots of big egos, lots of insecurity. Crazy. Take Heather, for instance. Right before rehearsal, she had this knockdown drag-out with Meryl. I'm surprised you ain't figured that out yourselves already. Evidence guys like you?
You're still on our list of suspects, Mr. Harrison.
Yeah, I can live with that. As long as you promise to cross off my name when you realize I had nothing to do with this.
Seem to be very quick to give people advice. Is the photo from the prop room of Heather and Meryl's argument?
Listen, I hold on to this job by being discreet. But yeah, that's Heather and Meryl going at it. Kind of a lover's quarrel, if you get my drift. Stirring an angry husband and you've got an instant soap opera. But that's all you get on that from me. Go to the sources if you want more.
Heather and Clayton have probably left the theater by now. We could try to track them down at their homes.
Lots of clicks and updates. So what is this tool? So let's go to the lab.
What's up?
Clouds, the sky. You probably most of the time.
Okay, good news, bad news. This could be the mystery tool from the prop room wall, but it wasn't the tool that made the marks on the bullet fragment from the Vic's wound.
That still doesn't clear Gus, though. Guy always seems to know more than he's saying.
Yes. But if he didn't know more than he was saying, or if he said everything that he knows, this game would be a lot shorter. Why are you guys looking at me? No. Actually, do we have any more information?
Something you want?
Need
so
something?
Let's get their addresses.
An easy one for once. Got it. 1486 Westfield Crescent. Nice neighborhood on the east side.
And the other one.
No prob.
No prob.
Here you go. 216 Vermont Drive, residential area, northwest.
Bonk. So, let's go to the Colby home. Oh, we've got an establishing shot. Very quick establishing shot. And let's talk to her. Why didn't you tell us you had an argument with Meryl before the rehearsal?
Excuse me?
Gus told us about it. I guess when you fight on stage, the stage manager notices.
Oh, that. No, that was no argument. We were just agreeably disagreeing over the motivation of my character. In the scene, maybe I got a wee bit bent out of shape, since this was my role we're talking about, not hers.
Swish.
Creative differences. Sisterly squabble.
Including a sisterly black eye?
Black eye? What are you talking about?
Well, we have a picture of her with a black eye, and we can see the black eye with our sort of infrared sensory UV thing. Maybe take a look around.
You know, suddenly, I am not liking the tone of this. I don't want you poking around in my things, my business, not unless it's official. Understand?
Well, let's see if we can get a warrant.
Yeah? What do you need, guys?
Usually not great on getting a warrant this early, but...
It's likely evidence at the Colby woman's home might corroborate your stage manager's story, along with his peeping Tom pics. You've got your warrant.
Wow. Okay. We're back! We have a warrant.
All right. Anything to put an end to this.
That's all we need right now.
And click, click. Look at that texture. What we got? Oh.
Passion's running a little hot, but I wouldn't call this a love letter.
Yoink. That's just her. Ooh, what's this over here? Ooh. Saucy.
Think these will fit me?
I don't even want to even come close to picturing what you'd be like in those. It would hurt my poor small brain.
Heather's a college grad, bachelor in performing arts.
The University of Western Nevada? So, let's look at the evidence that we collected. Is there anything we can...
Certain kinds of bodily fluids fluoresce, such as the kind you'd expect to discover in clothing like this, after a stimulating night.
Ooh. Stimulating night. Evidence items that we... Oh, it's documents. Can we get fingerprints off it? I don't know why we might want it, but... Hey. No, she doesn't want to answer any questions. Let's take all this stuff back to the lab.
Yes.
Yeah. Have that.
I sent the prints you found on the letter over to the computer.
Good, because that's what you're paid to do.
Profiler friend of mine at the FBI gave this a thorough content analysis. Sometimes even a short message can provide insight, though a longer message would have been better. My guy says we're likely looking for somebody with a university education, sociable, assertive, who tends to read a lot of very visual, descriptive fiction. Screenplays, maybe.
And I'm going to regret this.
Vaginal fluid. Got a little excited myself. Well, because this is a great source for DNA.
Right. So is that all in the computer? Thank you, Greg. Now, let's search. Let's search it, shall we? See if we get anything. That's different. It's closer, but I don't actually. Might be.
You don't quite have a match there. Little details make all the difference when you're doing a comparison. When you're sure, then ask me for a confirmation.
Little differences can come up just naturally through these fingerprints.
Not sure if we've got a match in this group.
Do these match? Oh, I think those match.
We've confirmed that soap opera tale our stage manager was hinting about. Either Meryl and Heather were sharing their undies, or they were sharing a lot more than that. But infidelity is a three-way street, meaning to Meryl and Heather, we have to add Clayton.
But, oh, I don't know. I don't know at all.
What's up?
You find out if Clayton Regis had a university degree?
Search of National College records? Sure. Clayton Regis, 92. Got a bachelor's in anatomy and physiology. Maine University, Fort Trent. Decent marks, got through on a biathlon scholarship. Few credits short of a diploma, though.
Biathlon. That's skiing and sharpshooting.
Dun dun dun. Right, let's go to the Regis house. Regis! Oh, another. Wow, that Siegfried and Roy with their white tiger, that ages it slightly. Right. Talk to me, bro. Maybe take a look around your home.
Listen, guys, I understand you have a job to do, but I'm mourning the loss of my wife, and I just don't have any stomach for this right now, okay?
Why was your wife spending time at Heather's home?
Of course. They were co-starring in a show. They're old pals who both live in town. Is it surprising Meryl would be over there quite a bit? Why? What do you know that I don't know?
Oh, a lot of things. And is that it? Okay, I expected Bear to talk to him more.
Need something?
Maybe we need to bring in Heather Colby.
An argument and a love affair? While your trajectory analysis suggests she probably didn't kill Meryl herself, we still need the story between those two.
Were you having an affair with Meryl?
If I were, and I didn't say that, what business of yours would that be? Why can't you let Meryl rest in peace?
She might rest more peacefully with her murderer behind bars. We have physical evidence suggesting you two were intimate. We'd like you to confirm that.
Would you? Try holding your breath. You'd look cute in blue.
I don't think blue or any colour would make him look cute. Did you write the threatening letter?
I had nothing to do with that.
Really? You definitely fit the profile of the person who wrote it. Now we just want to know who you were going to send it to.
I don't know what your computers or your experts told you, but I didn't write that damn letter, all right? I found it under my door the other day. If you would like to know who might want to threaten me, I'd suggest you look at that abusive husband of hers. Clayton, where do you think she got that black eye from anyway?
Ooh.
That's all I have for you.
Of course it is. Maybe Clayton has more to say now. Hey, how did Meryl get that black eye?
I was wondering about that. The mortician had to cover it up. I thought it had something to do with her falling after she was shot.
What's the mortician got to do with any of it yet? It's not got to the mortuary. Should still be in the morgue. Did you send a threatening letter to Heather?
Heather Colby? Of course not. Why would you even suggest that? She and I aren't friends particularly, but I wouldn't... Hey, I mean, I have no reason to talk to her, let alone send her letters.
That's all we need right now.
Can we do thing on the floor yet? Oh, yeah.
We need to check out Gus's story. If Meryl was laying on stage, playing dead at the time she was shot, our trajectory theory is out of whack.
Out of whack?
Let's see where it points to.
Oh.
Now we got it. With the sloping angle of the wound, if Meryl was laying on stage when she was shot, it would have come from that box seat.
That box seat. There's something here that looks like gun residue.
Something similar.
Do we need to use this tool?
Nothing here.
That causes blood to luminesce.
Nothing.
Collection. Lift.
Try using a similar tool.
Oh, it's this thing, isn't it?
Faint trace of some powder. Nice catch. You are good.
Might have to go through every single tool to find out what it is I need, but hey, yeah, of course, I'm good. Ooh.
Water stain, possibly.
Possibly. And shoe
Looks like a
prints.
shoe print. Loafer, or maybe dress shoes. That's not right for this. Close, but not quite right.
Meme. Right.
Interesting print. impressed more towards the instep, suggesting a slight pronation.
Me. I wonder if it's the two critics that usually sit up here, ragging on everyone. And with that information, I don't think we've actually got much new. Go back to brass, I guess. Actually,
Yeah? What do you need, guys?
Where did the doc? He's still
Something
not
you
learnt
want?
anything new.
What's up?
Location, Regis home.
His profile matches the analysis from the letter. His wife was sleeping around with another woman, who implies that Clayton was the one who gave Merrill the black eye. Well, I'd say that's an invitation to dine. Go see what the happy couple's home has to tell us.
I'm guessing someone was dining. Probably not at the home, though. Right, we have a warrant.
I told you this was a bad time. Okay, look, just try to have a little respect, will you?
Give a little respect. Not to you. Ooh.
That's really strange. There's some holes drilled into this soap. Not the right tool for this. Try something else.
We might just take it. Okay. No, I thought.
Nothing here.
Detection. Polish surfaces.
Wrong surface to try dusting. You won't be able to dust that for prints.
Okay. Are we just meant to... I'll take it then. I'll just take it. Oh. Loafers.
Bruno Pagli Lozano loafers. Size 10.
If it's not nailed down, we'll try and take it.
Well, our anatomy student seems to keep up his studies. Maybe he's finally going to finish that diploma. Or maybe he's already graduated, murder cum laude.
Ugh. I hate you. I hate you for that. Anything else around here? Good job that only other stuff we care about is immediately within the area that he happens to be in.
Pair of pliers. Looks like they were tossed in here recently.
Oh, we got a notepad. Can we take the notepad? Nope. Notepads are always good in these. So let's try taking this stuff back to the lab.
What's up?
So, passing you lots of evidence. Balcony powder.
Traces of barium, lead, and antimony. Main ingredients of that ever-popular favorite, gunshot residue.
So we've narrowed down our killer's perch. Now if we can only narrow in on the killer. And a reason for the killing.
And that.
Well, at first I thought we had residue from drinking water. See, I found traces of fluoride. Only further tests gave up various levels of copper, cadmium, nickel, and antimony. Water picks up traces of these elements passing through various pipes. You may be able to narrow down the neighborhood of origin with a computer search.
Of course. You keep a computer database of all that.
I scanned the shoe print into the computer.
Good boy. And take this one as well.
Walk over to the computer and you'll find that shoe print scanned in.
Take this weird soap.
Bar of soap, holes drilled into it. When I noticed they came to a point, I remembered that missing .308 caliber rifle your stage manager mentioned earlier. That got me to thinking, and I took some measurements.
Let me guess. Same as that rifle?
You're guessing again. I'm gonna tell Grissom that you're right. Perfect cast of a .308 caliber rifle bullet.
And this?
Standard drinking thermos for keeping things hot or cold. Little water in it, so I took a leap and sent a sample to the computer for you to search the chemical profile.
That's what we do. Take the
Bruno
shoes.
Pagli Lozano's. Definitely my style, definitely not my price range. I'll scan them into the computer for you.
And take these pliers.
Perfect match to the tool used to pry the bullet out of its casing.
We've got a drama unfolding worthy of the Colossus stage. Soap, drilled to the same caliber as bullets that could be used in the missing bolt-action rifle, and pliers that match the tool marks to the smaller .22 caliber bullet that pierced Meryl's heart.
Let's do all of our stuff on the computer. Computer. So shoe prints.
This comes as close as possible to matching the shoe prints found on the carpet. I'm starting to like Meryl's husband for this. How about you?
I don't like anyone. Oh, those match as well.
Seems the owner of these shoes from the prop room has been lurking around the balcony box seats.
And special searches.
Not surprising that it's from a municipal water supply.
And whatever this one was. Searching. Commercial water supply. We don't get anything else. So, can we get what's his face in? We need to talk to him more. Let's see if we can bring him in.
Need something?
Clayton.
Not yet. Maybe try finding more evidence linking the suspect to the crime scene.
Never be sure. Oh, were you in the upper balcony recently?
What? Where? Oh, at the Colossus? No, if I'm around for rehearsals, I watch from the dress circle.
What's up?
Can we...
We're not there yet. Remember Grissom's trinity of evidence. Link the suspect to the victim and the crime scene.
Well, let's talk to Gus
Sure,
again.
let's get your suspect back in here.
Because he's got those trainers, I think. Do you own the running shoes from the prop room?
Of course I do. I run the prop room. How many times? Some detectives you guys are. I mean, duh.
Well, we can't all be experts like you, Mr. Harrison. By the way, we found your footprints in the balcony. For somebody innocent of this crime, you seem to be everywhere. Everywhere you shouldn't be.
Hey, I'm the damn stage manager. See a broken light bulb in the box seats during rehearsal? So I go up and replace it while Heather's singing her song. So sue me.
Did you see the water stain in the balcony?
Of course I did. It's my job to notice junk like that. I'll call a plumber in when I'm not spending all my time talking to cops who want to pin a murder on my innocent tail.
Innocent tail, eh? Can we get...
Reasons, not hunches, guys. Keep trying.
We need something else to link him? I thought we had a pretty decent...
Hey.
There's a bunch of evidence around him. So we got the shoe prints. Look to the soap. Is there anything else on this that we can do? We can't... Oh, balcony water stain. Did they rearrange that?
Interesting. The water that made the stain in the balcony came from a municipal water supply. Hey, it's nearly identical in chemical profile to the water we found in that thermos.
There we go. That was obvious. I swear, like, the order these things arrive into this is at random. Sometimes it's in front, sometimes it's behind. Right, that has to be able to get us this
What do you
warrant
need,
now.
guys?
Suspect. Clayton
Plenty of
Regis.
mounting evidence against hubby here. Too much to ignore.
Finally!
A little grief counseling seems called for.
So why did you lie about being in the upper balcony?
What are you talking about? I was never up there. Why would I be there?
You tell us, because we can prove you were. Your shoe prints match prints on the carpet, and water stains from the floor match the chemical composition of water from your home.
Water from my part of town found in that balcony? Oh, how damning. It's a real smoking gun, huh? You people. You take somebody going through the kind of horror I am, and then you make crazy accusations based on flimsy circumstantial evidence?
Oh, we're just getting started, Mr. Regis. Of
We are
course,
just
you
getting
could give us
started.
something that might clear all of this up right away.
Fingerprints.
What's my other option?
There isn't one. That's all we need right now.
Back to the lab.
What's up?
Evidence. Fingerprints.
Hey, I scanned that print into the computer for you.
Of course you did. What else would you do? Fingerprints. So we've got detonator. And that. Oh, threatening letter. Oh, that seems to be a match.
Well, after all this, we're down to CSI 101. Fingerprints that match. Doesn't get much more incriminating than this. I think it's time to fold Clayton's show.
Right. Let's get him back in, shall we?
Need something?
Yep. Suspect.
Sure,
Clayton.
let's get your suspect back in here.
Would you like to give us your confession now?
Confession? Here's what I will confess. I loved my wife, and I miss her dearly. And I would never harm a hair on her head.
Maybe not, but you give her a black eye, right? You see, Mr. Regis, while you're lying, your fingerprints refuse to. You wrote that threatening note, you found out Meryl and Heather were an item, and gave your beloved a black eye over it. But you were just warming up. You were hanging around when that photo shoot, including the gun close-ups, was underway. You saw and took an opportunity. You snuck into the prop room, stole a scoped rifle as well as a couple of bullets and a blank round. Easy enough to cobble together a noise suppressor, wrap the barrel in a towel, or baffle it with a plastic bottle. Making a mold in the soap, you froze the smaller handgun bullet into an eye-shaped bullet big enough to fire from the rifle. You dropped your wife off at the theater, went to Java Net and Brew for an alibi, then snuck back into the balcony with the rifle and thermos packed with ice to keep your ammunition cold. There, you waited patiently for Meryl to lower herself onto that stage and make an easy target for a biathlon marksman like you. The idea was to make it all look like an accident. When the ice melted away, all that would be left was a bullet that matched the caliber of handgun Heather was holding. The photo shoot provided a reasonable explanation for a bullet winding up accidentally in Heather's gun when she pulled the trigger. What a sweet irony, huh, Mr. Regis? Kill your cheating wife and at the same time bestow her lover with a lifetime of guilt?
Smug. So smug. What do you know about it? I put myself second to that woman. Her career was the be-all and end-all, and that was fine. I loved her. I believed in her. I was happy to be the house husband pursuing his modest little local career while she made it big. But making it with that tramp wasn't part of the bargain. I sacrificed everything for that woman.
Yes, you did, Mr. Regis. You really did.
That
All the world may be a stage. Only here at CSI, we won't play the fool. An ice bullet puts the cold in cold-blooded murder. But a crime of passion always makes for mistakes in the heat of the moment.
what a bunch of bloody crap. But ice bullets. You guys have obviously not seen Mythbusters because they proved that it's impossible. Even a frozen meat bullet was impossible. Anyway, so we're on to the questions. So what subject are the pictures of the wall of Heather Colby's home? Oh god, I think it was flowers. Was it flowers? It was flowers. these don't seem to be properly lining up. What colour were the 3 lights and the remote detonator? Yellow, green, red? Yeah, traffic light colours. Which city did the hell go? Los Angeles. Oh no. What other shoes visible in the rack in the Regis home? I don't remember. Let's say brown boots. Nope. Oh, I got 2 out of the questions wrong. This could be bad. What else was in the drawer? It was a notepad. Let's see how well I do. And ranking of master somehow. Oh. Gets easier with each one. And let's take a quick look at the extras that we managed to unlock. So, the living room concept art. Well, that was meant to be a TV. It was so dark I couldn't tell. Prop room? Yeah, that completely changed, didn't it? Nothing alike. Kitchen? Much brighter. Very moody. It always has to be at night. The theatre? Yeah. Yeah, well, it's theatres. They all sort of look the same. Ish. Clayton? Yeah. Close enough. Heather? Oh. It looks like it accidentally clicked on that a second time. Mel Regis and Gus Harrison concept art. Because we really needed concept art of her, even though she was dead. Storyboards. Gun. Talking. Shooting from the pit, but that was wrong. No, they never did. Oh, we get to see this dude again.
Crime scene management is extremely important, especially in a high-profile case, because everybody wants to come in and see the crime scene. However, we need to take precautions to protect the physical evidence. If there are people that need to be in the crime scene, there are ways of doing it without destroying the evidence. However, we try to keep that down to a very minimum. Once the crime scene has been documented and the evidence has been collected and preserved, then we will allow more people to come in to get a visualization of what the crime scene is about. But crime scene management is extremely important. It's kind of like a balance here. The more eyes you have, the more you're going to find, but yet you don't want to have too many eyes, because then you'll trample other items of evidence, and you still have to keep up the communication, which is extremely important. A person who goes in immediately and starts taking pictures is somebody who is in a rush. The first thing you need to do is you need to take it methodically and in an organized manner. In other words, walk into the crime scene and you need to identify what it is that you have. So when you walk into the crime scene, look around. Look around all the walls, look around on the furniture, look around on the floor, look around on the ceiling. You don't know what's up there. You may have had some bloodletting that occurred, which the blood spatter may have been flung onto a surface, which in this case might be a ceiling.
Yes. Important things to remember next time you're at a crime scene. And that is case 4, pretty much wrapped up. Yeah, that wasn't as hard as some of the previous ones. Pretty straightforward, even if it seemed a bit convoluted at the end there. But they always seem to be a bit convoluted at the end there. This was to skip several layers of evidence and just sort of go straight in for the kill. But hey, it's done. And we only have the one case left that will join everything together. And so I'm probably going to leave that till next time. So, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do all the liking, subscribing, sharing, bells, all that fun stuff. Or leave me a comment. Whether or not you liked it or you thought it was terrible, just let me know. Either way, it's always good to hear feedback. And so until next time, I've been the GouldFish. That was CSI Case 4. And it was Miss Departed. Hey. And this was GouldFish on Games. Thank you very much. Catch you later.